The ancient beacon had been broadcasting its message for millions of years. Set among the stars by the Galactic Confederation, it sent out first contact protocols to all corners of the universe. Every spacefaring race had received this call, all except humans. On Earth, people looked up at the night sky and wondered if they were alone. They built radio telescopes and sent out their own messages, never knowing that the answer had been there all along, hidden by a strange quirk in Earth's ionosphere that scrambled the incoming signal. Admiral Jin stood on the observation deck of his command ship. The stars spread out before him in endless patterns. He had served the Confederation for 30 years, and in all that time, he had never encountered an unbeaconed species. Such things were merely stories told to young cadets, cautionary tales about dangerous outliers who had somehow developed without guidance. "Admiral, we have confirmed readings," said Officer Mina as she approached with a data tablet. The unknown vessel definitely originated from the third planet of this system. Jin took the tablet, studying the information with growing concern. No beacon acknowledgement protocols, no recognition signals. How is this possible? "Unknown, sir. The planet shows signs of advanced civilization, but no indication they ever received the beacon." The Admiral's brow furrowed. According to all Confederation knowledge, this shouldn't be possible. Spacefaring races developed along predictable paths, guided by the ancient beacon's knowledge. Any species that achieved interstellar travel without that foundation was considered unpredictable, potentially dangerous. "Have they detected us?" Jin asked. "No, Admiral. We remain outside their sensor range." Jin moved to the tactical display. The uncharted world, this Earth, appeared as a blue-green sphere, surrounded by primitive satellites and a single natural moon. Their civilization was still young by Confederation standards, yet they had somehow developed faster than light. Technology without guidance. Prepare a full surveillance team. I want to know everything about these humans before they venture further into Confederation space, Jin ordered. On Earth, Dr. Sun worked late in her observatory. For months she had been tracking unusual patterns in deep space, signals that didn't match known astronomical phenomena. Her colleagues dismissed her findings as equipment errors, but she knew better. "There's something out there," she whispered to herself, adjusting the telescope's parameters. The computer analyzed the data, revealing faint energy traces just beyond Neptune's orbit. Her assistant Juan brought her a cup of coffee. "Still chasing ghosts?" he asked with a smile. "Not ghosts," Sun replied. "I think someone is watching us." Meanwhile, the first human interstellar mission prepared for launch. The ship Horizon stood ready at the lunar construction facility, its experimental drive designed to bend space in ways Earth scientists had only recently discovered. Captain Lee performed the final systems check, unaware that this maiden voyage would soon trigger a galactic incident. "All systems green," reported his pilot, Officer Kim. "Ready for departure on your mark." Lee nodded. Humanity had dreamed of this moment for centuries, the first journey beyond their solar system. None of them knew they were about to stumble into an ancient community that looked upon unguided civilizations with fear and suspicion. In his chambers on the Confederation capital world, Counselor Park reviewed Admiral Jin's report with growing alarm. An unbeaconed species with FTL capability violated everything they understood about technological development. The ancient texts were clear: such races were dangerous because they followed no standard path of advancement. "We must contain this situation," Park told his aides. "Dispatch the 7th Fleet to establish a quarantine perimeter around their system." The aide looked troubled. "Sir, is a military response necessary? They've shown no hostile intent." "It's not about hostility," Park explained. "The beacon exists to guide species along safe paths of development. These humans have walked a different road, one we cannot predict." As the sun rose over Earth's spaceport, Captain Lee addressed his crew. "Today we make history. The stars are no longer beyond our reach." The Horizon's engines hummed to life, unaware that their innocent journey would soon bring them face to face with a galaxy that feared their very existence. All because, millions of years ago, Earth had missed the message that would have made them part of something greater. The horizon moved through the darkness of space, its engines glowing softly against the black canvas of stars. Captain Lee stood on the bridge watching as his ship approached the edge of Earth's solar system. This was the moment humanity had worked toward for generations, their first journey beyond the boundaries of home. "Prepare for the final jump," Lee ordered, his voice steady despite the weight of history upon his shoulders. Officer Kim's fingers danced across the control panel. "Drive systems ready, Captain. All readings normal." No one on board noticed the sleek alien vessel tracking, their movements from a distance, hidden by advanced cloaking technology. Inside the Confederation scout ship, Commander Min watched the human vessel with growing concern. "They're preparing to activate their drive," she reported to Admiral Jin over the secure channel. Estimated jump coordinates would take them directly into the Nivan system. "Intercept them," Jin ordered. "We cannot allow an unbeaconed species to make contact with established worlds." On the horizon, excitement built as the crew prepared for humanity's greatest achievement. Jump drive activating. In 3, 2, 1. Kim counted down. Space seemed to fold around the ship, stars blurring into streaks of light. The sensation lasted only moments before the horizon emerged in a new system, orbiting a distant sun. Lee's triumph was short-lived. Warning alarms blared. Across the bridge, "Captain, multiple vessels approaching," Security Officer June announced, his eyes wide. They appeared from nowhere. The view screen showed 3 ships of unusual design, their hulls gleaming with a metal unknown to human science. They moved with precision, quickly surrounding the horizon. "Open all communication frequencies," Lee ordered. "Broadcast the first contact package." Kim worked quickly. "Broadcasting now, sir. All languages, all formats." Aboard the lead Confederation vessel, Commander Min received the human transmission. They're sending basic mathematical sequences, atomic structures, and simplified language, primers, reported Communications Officer Sue. "Standard first contact protocols." Min frowned. How would they know standard protocols without beacon guidance? "Unknown, Commander, but their approach appears peaceful." Min made her decision. "Establish a communication link. Basic visual only." On the horizon, the main screen flickered before revealing a humanoid figure with iridescent blue skin and large, dark eyes. "Unknown vessel." The alien spoke in clear, if strangely accented, English. "You have entered restricted space. Identify your origin and purpose." The bridge crew stared in amazement. First contact, and the alien spoke their language. Lee stepped forward. "I am Captain Lee of the Earth vessel Horizon. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge." The alien's expression remained unreadable. "Earth vessel, your presence here violates Confederation protocols. You are classified as unbeaconed. Prepare to be escorted to a containment facility." Confusion spread across the bridge. "Unbeaconed?" Lee repeated. "I don't understand. We've made no hostile actions." "Your very presence without beacon acknowledgement constitutes a breach of galactic law," Min replied. "Stand down your systems and prepare for boarding." Lee glanced at his officers, seeing his own confusion mirrored in their faces. "We're scientists and explorers," he insisted. "We didn't know about any beacon or confederation." This statement caused visible surprise among the alien crew. Min conferred with someone off-screen before addressing the humans again. "That is impossible. All intelligent species receive the beacon." On Earth, Dr. Sun's observatory detected massive energy signatures from the direction where the horizon had disappeared. "Something's happening," she told Juan as they examined the readings. "These energy patterns don't match any known phenomena." Juan frowned at the monitor. "Could it be the horizon?" "No," Sun replied. "These signatures are too powerful. Something else is out there." In deep space, the confrontation continued. Armed Confederation personnel boarded the horizon, while the human crew watched in confused silence. The aliens moved with practiced efficiency, scanning every inch of the ship. "Their technology is unusual," reported one officer to Commander Min. "Developed along completely different principles than beacon-guided advancement." Min studied Captain Lee with new interest. How did your species develop faster than light travel without guidance? We figured it out ourselves, Lee answered simply. Through science, trial and error, and persistence. This answer troubled Min more than she wanted to admit. The Confederation had built its understanding of the universe on the foundation that all spacefaring races followed the beacon's path. These humans challenged everything they believed about galactic development. You will be brought before the Confederation Council, Min decided. Your claims must be verified. As the Horizon was escorted deeper into Confederation space, neither humans nor aliens realized they stood at the beginning of a revelation that would shake the foundations of galactic society. The misunderstanding born from a missed message would soon uncover truths that had remained hidden for millions of years. The Great Hall of the Confederation Council curved in a perfect circle, with seats rising in tiers around a central platform. Captain Lee and his senior officers stood at the center, surrounded by representatives of 200 alien species. The humans looked small and vulnerable under the harsh lights. The unbeaconed must explain their presence, announced High Counselor Tay, his voice echoing through the chamber. His skin shimmered with a faint golden glow as he stared down at the humans. Lee stepped forward. My crew and I represent Earth. We are explorers, not invaders. We didn't know about your confederation until Commander Min intercepted our ship. Murmurs spread through the alien delegates. Many touched small devices at their temples, translation units adjusting to the unfamiliar, human language. Impossible, declared Science Minister Ju, rising from her seat. Her 4 eyes blinked in sequence as she consulted her data tablet. Every intelligent species receives the beacon signal. It is the foundation of galactic civilization. Lee shook his head. We received no signal. Earth has been broadcasting its own messages into space for centuries, hoping to find other life. This statement caused even more commotion. The idea of a species developing interstellar travel without beacon guidance contradicted everything the Confederation believed about technological progress. Ambassador Bay, representing a species of tall, slender beings with silver skin, addressed the council. Perhaps they are lying. The beacon cannot be missed unless deliberately ignored. Dr. Kang, the Horizon's chief scientist, stepped forward. With respect, we can't ignore what we never received. May I speak with your scientists? There must be an explanation. After heated debate, the council agreed. Dr. Kang was escorted to the Confederation Science Academy, while Captain Lee and the others remained under guard. At the academy, Dr. Kang worked alongside alien scientists. They shared data about Earth's atmosphere, technology development, and broadcast history. Dr. Song, the Academy's director, examined the information with growing surprise. This ionospheric pattern, Song said, pointing to Earth's atmospheric data. It creates a unique interference field that could have scrambled the beacon frequency. Kang looked at the calculations. You mean the signal was there, but we couldn't detect it? Precisely, Song confirmed. Your planet has a rare combination of magnetic field, atmospheric composition, and solar radiation that created a natural barrier. The beacon signal reached Earth but was rendered undetectable. Meanwhile, in a secure meeting chamber, Counselor Tay consulted with military leaders. Admiral Jin displayed tactical projections of Earth's solar system. If these humans developed without guidance, they may represent a threat, Jin argued. Their technology follows unpredictable paths. Their thinking is not standardized like beacon-guided species. They claim to be peaceful, countered Commander Min. During my interaction with them, they showed no aggression. The most dangerous threats often appear harmless at first, Jin replied. I recommend a containment protocol around their home system until we understand them better. Back on Earth, governments struggled to comprehend the sudden disappearance of the Horizon. Dr. Sun had shared her findings of strange energy signatures, but officials remained skeptical. An alien abduction? That's your explanation? The space agency director asked, frowning at Sun's data. The evidence points to some kind of advanced technology, Sun insisted. Something intercepted our ship. In the Confederation holding facility, Officer Kim discovered she could access certain information terminals with her datapad. The alien security systems hadn't been designed to block unknown technology. She downloaded historical records and shared them with Captain Lee. The beacon has been broadcasting for millions of years, Kim explained. It contains basic science, mathematics, ethics, and contact protocols. Every species in the Confederation received this foundation knowledge before developing space travel. Lee studied the information. So they believe any species that achieves interstellar travel without this head start must be fundamentally different, maybe dangerous. Exactly, Kim nodded. We're the first exception they've encountered. When Dr. Kang returned to the holding facility, hope brightened his expression. Captain, I think we found the answer. Earth's unique ionosphere created a shield that blocked their signal. It was just bad luck, a cosmic misunderstanding. The next day, Dr. Kang and Dr. Song presented their findings to the Council. The evidence was clear. Humans hadn't ignored the beacon. They simply couldn't receive it. This changes everything, Counselor Tay admitted. If what you say is true, then humans represent something unprecedented, a species that developed space, travel independently. Admiral Jin remained suspicious. Even if they missed the message by accident, their development followed no standard pattern. Their technology, their thinking, all unpredictable. As the council debated, alarm signals blared through the chamber. A messenger rushed in, approaching Tay with urgent news. The ancient defense platforms in the Vega sector have activated, the messenger reported. They're attacking Confederation worlds. Tay turned to Admiral Jin. Deploy the fleet immediately. In the confusion, Captain Lee stepped forward. What? Defense platforms? Maybe we can help. This is not your concern, Jin dismissed him. But it could be, Lee insisted. If our technology developed differently than yours, perhaps we see solutions you don't. The Confederation faced a crisis, and the humans, who had missed the message, might hold the key to solving it. The Situation Room aboard the Confederation flagship buzzed with urgent activity. Holographic displays showed the ancient defense platforms, massive automated weapons built millions of years ago by a long-vanished race, as they systematically attacked outer colony worlds. The platforms were supposed to remain dormant, Admiral Jin said, studying the tactical display. Something has triggered their activation protocols. Captain Lee and Dr. Kang stood to one side, having been granted emergency access to the crisis meeting. The Confederation's most brilliant military minds had gathered, yet their expressions showed growing despair. We've tried standard containment procedures, Commander Min reported. The platforms adapt to our weapons signatures. They appear to learn from each encounter. Lee watched the simulations with growing interest. The ancient machines operated with a logic unlike anything he had seen before, but there was a pattern to their movements. May I? He asked, stepping toward the holographic display. Admiral Jin hesitated before nodding permission. The human captain studied the data, replaying attack sequences while Dr. Kang examined the technical specifications that Confederation engineers had managed to gather. These platforms use a form of quantum positioning, Kang observed. They predict standard attack vectors before your ships can execute them. That's why our fleet tactics fail, confirmed Science Minister Ju. The beacon provides standardized combat algorithms. All Confederation species follow these proven methods. Lee looked up suddenly. That's it. The platforms were designed to counter beacon-guided tactics. The room fell silent as the implications became clear. The ancient defense system had been programmed to defeat the very strategies that all Confederation species relied upon. Your ships attack in patterns the platforms recognize, Lee continued. But we don't use those patterns. Earth never received the beacon's military protocols. Admiral Jin's expression shifted from skepticism to cautious interest. What do you propose? Let us help, Lee said simply. My ship's systems use different principles. Our tactical approach wasn't shaped by your beacon. After intense debate, the Confederation Council approved an unprecedented decision. The human vessel Horizon would join the defense fleet, with Captain Lee coordinating a new strategy against the ancient platforms. Officer Kim sat at the horizons, navigation console now interfaced with Confederation systems. "This feels strange," she told Lee. "Their navigation protocols are so different from ours." "That's our advantage," Lee replied. "We think differently." Dr. Kang worked with Confederation engineers to integrate Earth technology with alien systems. The solutions they developed were messy and unrefined compared to the elegant standardization of beacon technology, but they offered something the Confederation had lost: unpredictability. As the combined fleet approached the front line, Admiral Jin joined Lee on the horizon's bridge. "My tactical officers still doubt this will work," he admitted. "Sometimes the best approach isn't the most elegant," Lee responded. "Earth's history is full of imperfect solutions that succeeded because they were unexpected. The plan was simple but revolutionary by Confederation standards. Instead of the precise coordinated attacks that beacon protocols recommended, the human strategy relied on deliberate randomness and asymmetric tactics. Confederation ships were divided into small, independent groups, each following different patterns. The Horizon systems introduced controlled chaos into the fleet's movements, something the ancient platforms couldn't predict. "First wave, execute pattern Alpha," Lee ordered. "Second wave, hold position until my mark." The battle unfolded unlike any in Confederation history. Ships moved in seemingly disorganized formations, their actions governed not by the ancient wisdom of the beacon, but by human instinct and improvisation. At first, the platforms continued to adapt, destroying several vessels. Admiral Jin watched grimly as the casualties mounted. "This isn't working," he said. "We should retreat and reconsider." "Wait," Lee insisted. "The platforms are still trying to find patterns. They're designed to counter logical, consistent attacks." As the battle continued, the ancient machines struggled to predict the seemingly chaotic movements of the fleet. Their targeting efficiency dropped dramatically. "Third wave, execute now," Lee commanded. "Random vector approach, maximum dispersal." The final attack caught the platforms in multiple blind spots. Unable to identify coherent patterns in the human-designed assault, their defenses faltered. One by one, the ancient weapons fell silent. Confederation engineers deployed specialized disabling charges, shutting down the platforms permanently. In the aftermath, Admiral Jin approached Captain Lee on the observation deck. Together they watched as recovery teams secured the disabled platforms. "Your methods were unorthodox," Jin acknowledged. "No beacon-guided civilization would have attempted such a disorganized approach." Lee smiled slightly. "Sometimes missing the message has its advantages." "The Council will want a full report," Jin said. "This victory challenges much of what we believed about technological development." As they spoke, Dr. Kang entered with Science Minister Ju. The two scientists had been examining the recovered platforms. "We've discovered something interesting," Kang announced. "The platforms were designed by an ancient species that feared what they called convergent thinking, the idea that all civilizations following the beacon would develop in identical ways. They created the weapons as a safeguard," Ju added. "A test to see if beacon-guided species could still innovate when faced with a threat designed to counter standardized responses." Admiral Jin looked troubled. "Are you suggesting the beacon itself might be limiting us?" "Not limiting," Lee said carefully, "but perhaps encouraging certain paths over others." As the Horizon prepared to return to Earth as honored allies rather than suspicious outsiders, the Confederation began to reconsider what it meant to miss the message, and what might be gained from walking a different path. 6 months after the battle with the ancient platforms, Earth had changed forever. Ships from the Confederation now orbited the planet, visible as bright moving stars in the night sky. On the ground, ambassadors from dozens of alien species walked among humans, establishing diplomatic and scientific exchanges. Dr. Sun stood on the observation deck of the newly built Galactic Institute in what had once been her modest observatory. She watched as students, both human and alien, collaborated on projects that would have seemed impossible a year ago. Still hard to Believe, isn't it? Asked Juan, now the Institute's assistant director. Sun nodded. From searching for signals to hosting a galactic embassy in less than a year. In orbit above them, the expanded horizon prepared for its second interstellar journey. Captain Lee inspected the new systems that combined human ingenuity with Confederation technology. The result was neither purely Earth-designed nor beacon-standard, but something new. Final checks complete, reported Officer Kim. The joint Human Confederation crew is ready for departure. Lee nodded, still amazed by how quickly things had changed. After helping defeat the ancient platforms, humans had gone from being feared outsiders to valued partners. Their unique perspective, developed without beacon guidance, had proven invaluable. Our mission is unprecedented, Lee reminded his crew during their final briefing. We're searching for other civilizations that might have missed the beacon signal. The science team, led by Dr. Kang and Confederation researcher Dr. Song, had identified several solar systems with similar ionospheric conditions to Earth's. These worlds might have developed in isolation, their inhabitants unaware of the galactic community around them. If Earth missed the message, logic suggests others did too, Kang explained. We might not be the only independent developers in the galaxy. On the Confederation capital world, Councillor Tay addressed the assembly. The Great Hall that had once viewed humans with suspicion now featured Earth's flag alongside those of member species. The humans have taught us an important lesson, Tay told the gathered delegates. For millions of years, we believed the beacon was the only path to advancement. We followed its guidance without question, developing along the same technological and philosophical lines. The assembly listened in respectful silence. The defeat of the ancient platforms had shaken many long-held beliefs about beacon supremacy. But now we must ask, what have we lost by following a single path? Tay continued. The humans achieved space travel through different means, creating technologies and approaches we never considered. Ambassador Bay, once skeptical of humans, now spoke in their defense. The beacon provided a foundation, but perhaps it also created limitations. Our thinking became so standardized that we couldn't counter threats designed to exploit our predictability. In Earth's orbit, the horizon prepared for its jump. This mission symbolized a new era of cooperation, humans providing creative approaches while the Confederation contributed its vast knowledge base. Jump drive ready, Kim announced. Coordinates set for the first potential isolation world. Lee gave the order, and the ship vanished in a flash of light, beginning its search for other civilizations that had missed the message. Back on Earth, Dr. Sun received an unexpected visitor. Admiral Jin had arrived to oversee the establishment of a new type of beacon, one designed to break through ionospheric interference patterns. We're modifying the signal, Jin explained as they walked through the institute. Future civilizations with atmospheric conditions like Earth's will not remain isolated. Is isolation always bad? Sun asked. Our separate development is what made us valuable to you. Jin considered this. Perhaps not. The ancient platforms revealed a truth we had forgotten. Diversity of thought is strength, not weakness. In the depths of space, science vessels from across the Confederation studied Earth's unique ionosphere, seeking to understand how it had scrambled the beacon signal. This research led to discoveries about atmospheric science that contradicted conventional beacon knowledge. Meanwhile, on distant Confederation worlds, human music, art, and literature spread rapidly. Species that had developed along similar cultural lines for millennia found human creativity refreshing and provocative. Earth foods became delicacies, human sports gained alien enthusiasts, and Earth languages were studied with fascination. As the first year of contact came to a close, Representative Kang addressed the Confederation Council. She had been chosen as Earth's first official voice in galactic governance. We come to you not as students seeking knowledge, nor as teachers imposing our ways, she told the assembly. We offer partnership, a blending of paths that might lead all of us to places neither could reach alone. The ancient beacon continued its broadcast across the stars, but now with a new message encoded within, that there are many paths to wisdom, And sometimes the greatest discoveries come from those who find their own way. As the Horizon explored distant systems, seeking other isolated worlds, humanity and the Confederation began writing a new chapter in galactic history, one where missing, the message had ultimately delivered a more important one. Uniformity breeds stagnation, while diversity creates strength.